Sugar's like my only addiction. I saw that, or one of my friends was telling me that like Amish people, I think, that they're super addicted to sugar because they have no other addictions.
They can't do anything else.
Exactly. So that's what I think is going on with me. Like I don't do anything else. I smoke cigars like once in a while, which I have one right here, but like I don't get them all the time. So I don't build like a tolerance to them, really. Like I don't have like an addiction to them.
It's not a vice then.
Yeah, I'm not addicted to cigars. It's just like a once in a while thing. But sugar is like constantly. If I do not have it, bro, I am not nice. I do not like it, bro. I'm constantly drinking sugar. I've definitely tried to cut it out like a couple weeks ago, and I think I lasted like 2 days.
Shit.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's rough.
What are your vices right now?
I don't know. I mean, I drink coffee every day, but
that's a drug.
That, like
that is a
coffee,
drug.
And it's more of a chemical addiction for sure, because it's like I don't feel like I'm in a bad mood if I don't drink it.
Right.
But I'm definitely to the point where like if I don't have a cup of coffee or Red Bull or something, I start getting a little bit of a headache. So it's
hell yeah, because you're a Red Bull.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's a chemical addiction to the caffeine. So it was. Yeah. So it's not like a mood thing. It's just like, oh, fuck, I need to get some fucking caffeine in me.
Let me ask you this, because you're a dad. And we're already on. We're on right now. We're on. Okay. That's it. Okay?
All right.
No intro. Forget it. You already know who this guy is. He's been on forever. It's Roddy, the host of his own podcast, Alter Red. I got this beautiful hat that you gave me. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
we're just getting into it.
Thank you for wearing it, man.
Of course. I'm going to wear this all the time.
I feel like we're coast to coast now, bi-coastal, west to east.
Oh, yeah. And then, except our time zones aren't aligned because we totally botched starting the show because I thought
you hit me up today. You're like, I sent you the link. I'm like, fuck, I'm still at work. Like, I'm just chilling.
I know. I thought we were supposed to start at 4, but it was 4 your time.
Yeah, it was barely 2 o'clock.
Which is 6 o'clock over here.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this:
here.
Since you're a dad, right? Yeah. How do you feel about? What would you say if I were to say that, like, the government were to crack down on energy drinks for kids? Like, if they put a ban on selling energy drinks to children, would you be against it? Would you be for it? What do you think?
I think that'd be all right. I think they're more harmful than like cigarettes. I think.
Oh yeah.
Just with all the B vitamins and shit. Not even the caffeine. It's all the other shit that's in them.
Right. Yeah, because
I never thought about that. Because like a little 5-year-old could go buy a Red Bull.
Anybody could buy and Red Bull's not even the worst, because Red Bull. I did a whole lot of research on this because the new energy drink Prime is out from KSI and Logan Paul. And the government is trying to crack down or trying to investigate into it because of the high caffeine content, right? But when you look into it, the caffeine content is high, but it's not that high. I feel like this is kind of a witch hunt, and I'm not even a fan of Logan Paul and KSI at all. Okay, I don't know anything they do. I don't know anything about it.
Is that their drink?
Yeah, they have like a regular like Gatorade, and then they got the energy. And the government is like, you need to look into the Prime Energy because the caffeine content, it's 200 grams, which is like pretty high, but I've seen higher. I've drunken higher.
For a kid though.
Oh yeah, but you know you're not. That's why I asked you, what do you think about if they banned it for kids?
I hadn't even thought of that. But last week when I saw my daughter, she told me about that very drink, and she's like, do you know what the Prime drinks are? I was like, oh, I think I've seen them at the gas station. And she's like, oh, her cousin that practically lives there with her grandma. She's like, he's been drinking those. And I was like, really? I was like, and they just buy them for him? I was like, isn't it like an energy drink? She's like, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. I'm like, that's what, like, first of all, probably got a ton of sugar. That's why he's so fat. I'm like, you don't want to be giving a kid fucking shit like that, you know?
Well, there's 2 of them. He might be drinking the regular one, which is like a Gatorade.
Hopefully, yeah. If there's 2 of them, hopefully he's just drinking the Gatorade kind of thing, but.
Yeah, because you got the regular sports drink. Because I thought about it once I saw it, and then once I thought about like how much that caffeine actually affects you, and I know that like I'm sure Prime is not marketed to children. I think like I said, I think they're kind of doing a little bit of a witch hunt on this drink, but I don't know for sure. All I'm saying is there's more. The Monster Fruit Punch, Rockstar Fruit Punch. I used to love that. 260 milligrams of caffeine. And they got this shit called Celsius Heat with 300 grams of caffeine. And there was a girl on TikTok that drank it, and she was like literally crying. She was like, yo, I need this to stop. I'm like way too wound up. I worked out for 3 hours. She was like legitimately crying about how.
I mean, it's live and learn with it too, though, because my younger brother doesn't do any of that stuff, because even just a Red Bull when he was a kid, he drank one and like went to bed and then just would like randomly scream in the middle of the night.
Oh,
it's like some people can just handle it, and some people can't. It's not the drink makers, fault either. Like you try it and it fucks you up, just don't buy anymore.
Yeah, I have like a weird relationship with caffeine, because sometimes I could drink a shitload of it, and then there's like a year or maybe like a couple year period where I can't handle it almost at all. It's weird. But I remember when I did that No More Chicken episode and I had 2 of those Rockstar fruit punches, 260 each. I thought I was gonna die, yo. I was like, no, I can't even. Oh my god, my heart was just beating out of my chest for hours. I was. That's when I found out how much caffeine can kill you. 5,000 milligrams. I was like, because I was like 500 has to, and it was like no 5,000. So I was like, okay, I'm nowhere near there.
You're good.
I'm good. I just have to lay here and suffer, and it was horrible. But I didn't know that Canada has a limit to 180 milligrams
on each drink.
Yeah, you cannot, because Prime is getting like illegally sold there. And the Canadian government's like, no, you cannot. Like, they're cracking down on it because it's like.
But what is that? 180 milligrams like per serving or
of can?
Or what?
I think for the can.
Because how's that work with the different size cans then?
That's a good question. I'm assuming it's 180 per can. Like whatever can you're gonna get.
That's the biggest can you should be able to get.
Yeah, like I think like this Coke is 55 milligrams or grams of sugar for the whole bottle. I think a bottle's a serving size, so I think a can would. Sometimes they do that shit where it's like, oh, a can is 2 servings, but I think with the energy drinks they don't play with that. I think you got to know exactly.
I've never been much at looking at nutrition facts either. So.
Yeah, I definitely am, because especially with how much sugar, I'm like, let me know how much sugar I'm drinking, so I know. Like, let me just know.
See, and with the Prime stuff though, I don't know if it's necessarily marketing to kids, but if it's, who'd you say it was? Logan Paul
and KSI, which I have not seen many adults who enjoy their content. That's what I will say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like a lot of these people, it's like Mr. Beast and all these different people that are like, they're not necessarily for kids, but that's who's fucking watching them. I don't watch any of that shit. And my daughter and her little cousins, that's all they do when they're over at their mom's house is watch YouTube. And when they're, man, as much as I love YouTube, it's like a lot of the stuff on there is just crap that the kids watch.
Oh, that the kids watch?
When my kids are here, like we all we do is watch The Simpsons and Big City Greens, and even then, like I put Disney Plus and Netflix on her tablet that she has over there, because I'm like, I would rather you like don't ruin your attention span with all these YouTube shorts. I'm like, watch full episodes of stuff, watch movies. Like, if you're gonna spend all your time looking at a screen, at least watch full stories.
I think that the new, like your daughter's age and lower, are gonna start talking like the YouTubers, which is crazy, because that's not how you really talk. Because if you notice how they make the videos, and even I do it sometimes. I'm not even gonna say I don't do it on TikTok or like the taste test. But I think I'm loud anyway. Like right now, I'm being pretty loud. So I think I'm more naturally, like, I like to be loud. But if you look at how they actually interact with the camera, it's more like, it's kind of dystopian how they talk a lot. It's like, hey guys, today we're going to be like, they legitimately or strategically talk loud and then slow and like a lot of hand movements. And it's like, I do that because I'm from New York, but they do it like, and it's like if they're in Blue's Clues or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I feel like they're going to talk like that.
Like, not necessarily marketing to kids, but that's what grabs a kid's eyes. Like to me and you, it's almost eye roll.
Yeah.
But to a little kid, that's what little kid stuff. That's how fucking Barney talks, and that's how everybody on PBS has talked. When they have the show that fucking Kratz Creatures and shit, they were always yelling and shit.
Because there is a level to it. It's like when you want to be on camera. A lot of people do turn up the volume, which is understandable.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because sometimes you look back on something like, wow, I look dead here. I should turn it up. But then there's that whole nother level that you and I are discussing right now, where they'll do like a YouTube short, or it's like, hey guys, today I'm going to be sitting on a deserted island for 40 freaking hours. And like a big explosion. And I truly think, bro, your daughter's generation, they're going to be talking to each other like that. Like, hey guys,
each other like that?
Can you help me with my math homework right now? I'm going to fail my class. No, I cannot do it. Yeah, they're going to be walking around with sound effects and shit. Like, bro, I'm telling you, because that's how they all talk. It's wild.
Yeah, it's a little up there. But yeah, I mean, and just with energy drinks, going back to that, I mean, they get stronger and stronger all the time too. Like
Oh
that
hell
was like
yeah.
you said, like for me it was always Red Bull, and like I'm still diehard Red Bull. That's all I ever drink. And but yeah, it's like it's super tame. But when it first came out, it was kind of the same thing of everybody worrying like, oh well, like it's super high this content, super high that content, and
Yeah.
we're fine now.
Cause
And
really,
we only have the 8 ounce cans back in the day. Like in my
yeah.
high school yearbook picture, my senior picture, it's me with a Red Bull can, an 8 ounce can. And now I drink like the 16 or the 20 ounce sometimes. And then when the rumors started to spread that they had bull cum in it,
Oh my god, that's
and I was
ridiculous.
like, but at that point I was like, well, if it does, that's a mighty good bull cum. Like, oh
Yeah,
well,
and like
I
you
already
know
drank.
me, I wouldn't care. I'd be like,
Yeah, I'm like, I
sweet.
already drank gallons of it anyway. What am I
Not
gonna
that I
do
like
about
cum. It's just that I like animal stuff. I just want to go on record and say that because when I say you know
you
me, it's not that I enjoy cum.
you
It's
don't
that I
you
like.
don't like cum?
No, I don't. I like animal. I like eating like anything from the animal. I saw.
You never drank your own cum?
No, I've never even thought about that.
Like when it accidentally hits your mouth or anything?
It's never done that. I
No,
don't
yeah,
jerk off in a position for that to happen. I don't have. There's not a volcanic effect on
yeah,
mine. It's more
yeah. I
this
mean,
way. It's not. I don't let it go up. I don't understand guys that do the volcanic
the
eruption.
fucking
I don't do
the
that.
old faithful,
It goes
they go right as they
no,
do it,
no,
so it
no, no,
lands
no,
on no.
no. Right where it
Yeah.
needs to go. It's a precise landing. I don't do. It's not an eruption.
Do
Well,
you know the world record at least a couple of years ago for like the longest shooting cum was something like 18 feet.
damn, really? I want to like
Yeah,
who's the can you imagine? Because you know, like Guinness has to be there. Like, imagine you're working for
yeah,
Guinness, and
yeah.
they're like, "This is your assignment. You got to be there while the guy's jerking off, and you
Yeah.
got to." And then he has to measure it and everything. Oh my god, the guy probably hated his job that day.
Yeah,
That's
and the
wild.
thing, yeah, because I looked it up because my girl that I was messing around at the time, years back, was like, maybe you could get the world record for how far you shoot.
Oh
And then
wow,
I
you
looked
have
it up and I'm like 18 feet, and I was like, that's as big as my apartment that I was living at the time. And I'm like, ah, man, I can't get close. Maybe a quarter of that, but
damn. So you
yeah,
must
these
had a
guys are.
you had a rep with her, huh?
Yeah, I had a rep with a bunch of
You
girls
were,
like that. It was always like, God
bam.
damn. One time I was after I got fired from a job, and then I was banging out this chick that I worked with at that job,
Yeah.
and and she was like, "Too bad you got fired." She's like, "Too bad you can't get a job shooting cum for a living
Oh my
because
god.
you'd make some pretty good money."
Maybe nowadays you could. I'm sure there's
Now, yeah,
some
that was before all
on
this shit,
Chatterbait
man.
or something you could do that.
Yeah,
But I was gonna say I was looking at this article because I was talking about bag salads. Do you do bag salads like where they just
every
come?
once in a while, hardly, but yeah, I
You
do
ever
something.
seen like when they come and there'll be like a bat in there, or like a frog,
Uh,
or like a
Fuck,
and like a little creature inside of there?
I'll never say that. That's
That's
disgusting.
crazy. I looked it up because I was like, I know I've heard of like a dead animal being in there, but then I saw this article where it was like there was bats in there, live
Uh,
frogs in there. How does it even happen?
does that shit like give you the fucking willies? Like, what animals give you the willies like that?
Like
Like if you see one.
well, I just saw a bug, like a huge bug, and that was enough. I don't like bugs. I would eat
No,
them
okay.
though. Like if I
See,
saw them
because
in the
bugs
thing, I'd
don't
eat
really
them.
bother me. Yeah, yeah. But like I've seen people that freak out with like snakes and frogs. Like I'm fine, I'll touch a
Oh
snake or a frog. But you know what
no.
fucking gets me is fucking mice. And there was a mouse in here,
Oh hell yeah, no. I'm
and
good.
like I saw it, like I see him, and it just fucking like grosses me out. And
Mm-mm.
then we caught him this morning actually, right when I was getting ready for work. I heard something, and he was in the trap, that little fucker. So I fucking bagged him and threw him out. And it was the whole
Oh
time I was like feeling gross. And then I go outside, and there's this bunny out there, and he's the cutest little thing. And I'm like, how come the bunny doesn't gross me out? They're practically the same fucking
you
animal.
went up and petted it.
Yeah, I was trying to pet the bunny, and while I'm puking because the fucking mouse was in the house.
I heard bunnies are mean sometimes. Like
Yeah, have you never heard him scream and shit? We caught one once
no,
here, and he was like,
really,
fucking, he got all gnarly. Yeah,
just from going up to it.
yeah. We actually got. I can't remember how it was that we actually grabbed it. It was like stuck to a branch or something. It was a long time. It was when I was a
Oh,
kid.
you were
I
trying
just
to like
remember the
help it.
screams. No, we were trying to grab it. I
Oh,
was trying
okay,
to catch
okay.
it.
Yeah, like I always, I think I was asking somebody like, oh, you know, maybe I should get like a bunny for a pet. They're like, no, it's mean. They're gonna bite you. They're
Yeah,
rude. I didn't know that. You just think they're so fluffy and cute.
they're cute. Yeah, but then I was like, it's looks like the fur looks the same as this mouse I have in a bag. I don't know why it doesn't gross me out the way the mice does.
No, everything gross. All that
But
grosses
yeah,
me out.
snakes, everything else I'm fine with. But
Nope.
fucking mice, just their little fucking feet. They look like little hands and shit.
I'm a city
Fucking
boy, so
gross.
all that stuff I don't want. I don't want no parts of no snakes, no fucking Nothing like that. If it's dead,
Snakes
I'll
are
eat
cool.
it. I'll eat it.
Mm.
But I don't have any qualms with that. I'll pretty much eat anything, but alive, snake, or anything like that, I'm good. I'm good.
And bats gross me out too. One time, not too long ago at work, I was repairing a pallet, and there was this little bat on the fucking pallet, and I'm like, oh my god, fuck! And so I dropped the pallet down, and it didn't fall off. It was like clinging on there, but I thought it was dead, and so I'm like, fuck, what the fuck? And so I start like hitting it with the shovel, and like it starts moving around. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? So I start like dry heaving because it's really grossing me out, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Well, they're like gross. They just carry mad diseases.
Yeah.
It's not like a
And
bat is.
Yeah, that's the thing is like they have diseases and shit, and so like my eyes are watering, and I take it on the shovel, and I'm like, and I was gonna throw it into the fucking wood chipper hog thing, and like
Throw the
it fell
bat
off
in the
the
wood
shovel.
chipper?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But it fell off my shovel, and before it could go away, I just like hit it with the shovel and like cut it in half.
What?
And it went under a whole pile of pallets, and I was like, well, that's night shift's problem. It was right before I got off. I'm like, fuck. But the whole time my eyes are watering, and I'm like puking and shit. It was
You
disgusting.
cut it in half?
Yeah.
Like it flew up, and then you just went like a movie, just swam like that?
I don't know. It was like stunned or something because it was awake, but it wasn't being fast. So it started to move a little bit faster, but still really slow. And that's why I was able to like, and I just slammed it with the shovel and cut it in half.
Oh my!
And there was blood everywhere and shit.
That's
Fucking
crazy.
Fucking hate bats.
Did you like want to vomit after you cut it in half? That sight?
Yeah. The whole time I was dry heaving, my eyes were watering.
You should have took a picture of that though. Of it just laid out with the blood, posted it. Everybody would have been pissed off at you, bro. How could you do that?
Yeah,
that's not right.
People love the bats.
Oh, people.
It was red.
Crazy.
I think it was red during the COVID time too. So.
Oh, I thought this was like last week.
No, this was a couple years ago. So I think if I might have been a hero because everybody hated bats back then.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, nobody likes bats if you see it flying around your office or something.
Yeah.
Like in the office. Remember when the bat was there? Everybody started freaking out.
Yeah. And they bag it up on what's her name's head?
Yeah, on her head. But I did see somebody feeding a bat a banana, and the bat was in a blanket. I think it was like a wounded bat, and it was up close shot of the woman feeding in a banana. It was so cute. I was like, oh, I like bats now. That's cute. That's cute. But then if it started flying around, I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah, they're disgusting. They're rubbery ass little fucking wings and shit.
Right.
It's fucking gross.
Right. What about crows though? You know we love crows on the show.
Crows are badass.
You know we love the crows. They'll fuck you up. They'll remember you. You cut one of them in half, the whole crew will come and fuck you up.
Yeah, they're crazy like that. They fucking do funerals for their crow friends and stuff.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. My mom, this is not crows, but my mom was cleaning up the front of the house, and she has a wreath. I don't know why. It's not Christmas. I didn't know people put wreaths out when it's not Christmas.
They do now. Yeah, I didn't know that until I bought a house, and I was like, people do wreaths all year round.
Yeah.
They put out your wreaths for different things, and I'm like,
I had no idea. Like, who am I to talk when I got this fucking Christmas tree behind me? But
Christmas tree.
Yeah, I already know. I just don't want to put it away.
You still got your 4th of July tree up.
Yeah, I got my 4th of July trip. What's next? What's the next holiday? Is there anything before Halloween? Is Halloween
Labor
next?
Day?
Labor Day?
Labor Day.
I got my Labor Day tree up. Here's my Labor Day tree. So my mom was cleaning out her wreath, and all of a sudden a bunch of baby birds fall out. And she starts hosing them down. I was like, "What do you mean you hosed them down?" She's like, "I hit him with the hose." She's like, "I didn't hit him that hard with the hose. She hit him with the hose." And then my dad came out and he put him like on a shovel, and then he put him and he like left him kind of like in the forest area that's by her house. And I was like, "Those birds are definitely
so that someone
dead.
could eat them." Yeah,
bro, those birds are so dead. There's no way. There's no way. And I was like, you guys are so lucky the mom wasn't around, because she would have went off, bro. She would have came out. They don't fuck around.
They don't.
But I heard that they come back though. Like I think they come back and they're like, "Where's my babies at?" And they start freaking out.
Yeah, and they'll attack people and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, what are you gonna do? You can't have the birds living in your reef. You gotta do something.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have hosed them
That's
down.
why you probably shouldn't have a wreath.
That's what I'm saying.
Just
fuck the
kind
reef.
of asking for it.
Fuck the reef.
But did you watch that fucking show? What was it called? Beef?
The one with the rappers?
No, Beef with it's that series with David Cho in it.
No, I thought you meant Beef, like when they showed like Ice Cube versus Cypress Hill. That's
Oh
the
no,
old
it
school
was it
show.
was a Netflix series that came out
No.
not too long ago. But there's a whole the like crows are part of that show.
Oh, like a big aspect to it.
Like a little underlying aspect. Yeah,
Wow.
every single episode you kind of hear crows in the background, and then at the very end of the series, it kind of gets explained.
Like our show.
Yeah, yeah. When I saw that, I was like,
We always got
damn.
crows around. What episode was it where nobody said anything at all, but I had like a digital crow in the episode, and nobody even I don't think anybody even noticed. It was like on our table. What episode was that? Was it like you
See,
remember
I'm telling
seeing
you,
that?
I got to start watching them. Yeah, because like it's like the time you guys were in those nun outfits. I didn't know that until you posted a clip.
None outfits.
I just listened to them
I don't
when
know.
you
I don't
and
remember none outfits.
Justin, it was.
We didn't do that. You were hallucinating that one. I remember the crow though. Did you see this doctor on TikTok? She just got her license taken away. She was a plastic surgeon, okay? She got her license taken away because for I think since 2018, that's when she was at least warned about this, okay? She's been live streaming her plastic surgeries and she ended up botching at least 3 of them recently. And these people came out. Somebody lost some brain function because of it. Somebody got like some holes in their intestines. So she jacked 3 people up because she was doing this on TikTok freaking live. They did an interview with one of the ladies who got botched, and we'll listen to that right now.
Kelsey Cardenas went to Dr. Roxy for a breast lift.
I found her on TikTok. I definitely connected with her personality.
Kelsey says she watched videos of Dr. Roxy performing surgeries every day for months.
Did you talk to any patients or anything like that?
No, I didn't know anybody who had had surgery.
So you assumed because she was this TikTok personality that she was going to do a great job on your breasts.
Yeah. If you're brave enough to live stream surgery and you're that transparent, you would just assume, that she's not having the issue she was having.
But Kelsey says she suffered major complications.
By 4 weeks, I had a 5x5 wound under that breast.
She live streamed your surgery.
She did.
Do you feel that that could have contributed to what happened? Do you think she wasn't paying attention?
Rewatching it, I saw a couple cuts that she made when she was clearly talking to the camera or focused on what she was saying to them.
Kelsey says she finally went to another doctor.
He said there's no way this is ever going to look normal again.
Dr. Roxy had no comment about being stripped of her license.
All right. So it sucks that she got botched, right? Especially the one that lost brain function.
Oh,
But-
yeah, that's even worse.
Did you notice anything that she said in that interview that the woman said that may have been a little crazy?
If someone live streams their shit means they're good? That's what the part that got me. I don't.
You're on the right track. Okay, she said now. All right, she was watching this woman do this for months, and she decided to go to her.
Mm-hmm.
Why on God's green earth would you decide to go to somebody and get surgery from them when they do live streams while they do it and they're reading comments and interacting with people while they got a knife to your freaking face, to your stomach, to your titties, to your neck, to anything? What makes you think that that's a good idea? Their focus is not 100% on you anymore, and that is evident because I don't know, she sliced somebody's fucking brain open. She jacked 3 people up. So honestly, I don't know about the other 2 that she messed up, right? But anybody that goes to this woman to get surgery after seeing that she does it on live, you're on your own.
Kinda your own fault, yeah.
I'm not really I'm not crying over that. You're bugging.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been told by my friends that I'm tripping, that they were like, no, because, she thought she was good. It's like, but how? And then she wanted to be like, oh, well, when I watched the footage back, I kind of saw there was some cuts there. It wasn't really good. You've been watching her for fucking months, and you didn't see anything off about it then, though. Now that you got jacked up, you want to be like, well, I noticed something fishy was going on now.
Pretty obvious now, yeah.
Come on, man. Really? No.
I don't know why anyone would trust. I mean, that's why when you go to get surgery anywhere, any hospital anywhere. It's you have to sign all those papers, pretty much saying, you know, like if you fuck me up, I'm not gonna sue, which is the basic thing. And so on something like this, it's like, yeah, I think it's pretty much your own fault also, because it's like you're well aware of the risk you're taking.
It's a dumb
by
move,
going to
no?
someone that's in. Yep, it is.
It's like, oh, you know, the people that were coming out with and being like, you know, you shouldn't be making memes about, you know, the people that went into the submarine.
Oh yeah,
it's not.
Like
It's
they
not
knew
a
the risk too. Yeah.
Besides the kid, okay, who I felt completely bad for.
Yeah.
There is literally nothing there is nothing that could be on the bottom of the fucking ocean that would make me go into a fucking tin can and go down in the ocean to see it. Nothing. Especially when you find out that the whole thing was some slapped together duct tape bullshit, and they knew going into it. The kid didn't want to go, but the dad, you know, basically was like, "Listen, we're gonna go."
Coerced him into it, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go. So it's like you're on your own there. I mean, yeah, you can try and save them, but you think that people aren't going to be clowning people for a move like that? It's not like this was a disaster that could not have been that could have been prohibited. This was not like this was like an act. This wasn't like the Boston bombing.
Yeah,
or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. You know the risk of what you're doing. It's like
when they were coming out with
It's sad if people die and shit, but you knew the risk. It's skydivers and shit like that too.
It's not that
you
this is not sad.
And you splat. It's sad, but it's like, well, you know, he knew that was a possibility that it was going to go splat. So fuck.
And you can't stop people from making the good old memes and the thing. My favorite was when it was. I love this one when they were like, you know, they wrote a whole article about this. They're like, oh, there's been a proliferation of memes and audio. People are creating fake audio of what the of what was going on inside the submarine, and we don't know how to handle this. You don't handle it. It was like literally funny because they'd be like, oh, we found audio from inside the submarine, and it'll be like a fake like BBC page, and it'll be like, you know, it'll have like the submarine sound, and then it would have the infamous, I'm stroking my dick right now. I got lotion on my dick right now. I'm holding right now, and it was hilarious. Like, at a certain point, what are we supposed to do?
I wasn't a fan of them of those memes just because I'm like, oh, well, they were still people, unless it was someone like completely piece of shit, which I'm sure they were with the amount of the money they had. So I wasn't too much of a fan of the memes, but memes like that where the joke's not on the dead people, it's on the person.
That's what I mean.
Trying to be a voyeur, you're like, it's because you know what? Why do you want to listen to someone's dying words or someone's footage of this or that happened?
Oh no! So
the person you're clowning on isn't the people that died. At that point, you're clowning the person that's trying to get a glimpse of something morbid, and they get the I'm stroking my dick thing.
Yeah. It's not. Like, yeah, you're not really joking. That shit to me is
funny as hell. Yeah,
it's just a situation. Is just there's jokes that can be made about the situation. It's not like, oh, we don't care about the people involved. But I mean, like there was the one where they're like, oh, only one person could save the day on this one, and it was Vin Diesel in like a scene from Fast and Furious when he goes into the water in the car, and it's like, that's funny.
Oh yeah.
That's funny. It wasn't like, oh, you know, these people are pieces of shit. But to a certain extent, you got to be like, listen, these are grown people. This was a dumb move.
They made a decision to do that.
The people were coming out and they were like, yo, this was a dangerous thing to do. People that had already done this in good submarines. And they were like, this was so dangerous. We had issues going down there in like perfectly good submarines with amazing pilots or whatever you call them. And we had issues and we almost died. They should have never went down there. And honestly, the craziest moment, dude, which was when I forgot what publication this was or what channel it was, but she was like, it was some anchor and she had one of the like an ex submarine pilot on. And she was like, so, you know, before we let you go, are there any chances that they'll be found alive? He went, nope. He went, nope. Because it's a death trap, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with like people when you go to space. That's like the whole story with what was her name, Kristen McAuliffe back in the 80s.
Oh, I don't remember that.
When she was that teacher that went up in the space shuttle. What the fuck was the name of this?
Is that the one that blew up?
Yeah, the Challenger space
like
shuttle.
A bunch of them were in there, right? Like 11 people.
Yeah, like she was the famous one because she was the first civilian. She was a teacher, and it was sad, but same thing. It's like they knew the risk of going to space.
Right. So
There's
if
a
somebody wants to make
million
a
risks in
Vin
space.
Diesel Fast and Furious meme, that's what it is. If this was
Yeah.
like, somebody walked to a supermarket and started shooting it up, and you start making memes like, whoa, now you're getting crazy.
Because that was the thing but you couldn't make jokes about it. Because I tried making a joke about that when I was in high school, and everybody said I was mean. Because I said Krista McAuliffe liked being an astronaut so much that she never went back to teaching.
That was good. That was good. I'm a
For the
fan.
rest of her life, she was an astronaut.
But it's not like you're not like saying, oh, fuck her. It's just a funny
like,
joke.
It's just a funny. It's kind of a play on words kind of thing.
That's it. Everybody's getting crazy. Did you see
Everyone's
the kid
too
that
sensitive.
did you see the kid that went viral for and also again, I gotta state this again, shout out and rest in peace to the kid that was in that submarine that did not even want to be there. That was the real heartbreaking moment right there. The other shit, come on, bro. You guys know. The guy's best friend was like, don't go down there. It's a death trap. And the guy ended up going anyway with his kid. What are you supposed to say after that? So did you see the kid that ended up going viral because he went to somebody's door and he was on their Ring doorbell and he was like, hey, you have any kids in your house? Because like I'm
Oh yeah, that little fat kid. Yeah.
So I thought it was a sweet video. It made me feel like, I've never been in that situation, but it pulled at my heartstrings to see him like I have no friends, right?
When the guy was like, "Oh, I have a 2-year-old. The only kid I have is a 2-year-old," and he's like, "Oh, I love."
He's like, "Great, let's hang out." And he's like,
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't know about
That was
that.
a little bit. It was a little bit sad, but it was very questionable for me just because the kid looked like all the rude kids in my neighborhood. I was like, he's a little racist piece of shit. But that's just me being a racist piece of shit.
So he ends up going viral for it. It was a sweet video. And the community comes out. People come out. They start emailing and stuff. But here's where it gets crazy for me. Now, again, this is just like the TikTok search thing. Everybody was looking like, oh, you can't say that. You can't. You're bugging now. So they make a GoFundMe for the kid. And they raise 40 grand. 40 grand for what?
For what?
The kid didn't go to the house and go, I need food, where my parents are broke, my stomach's growling. He wasn't begging for change. He wanted some friends. And they raised $40,000. And they're like, oh, what are you going to do with the money? He's like, I'm going to go to some theme parks and stuff. And then
By himself?
No, with his family.
Oh, okay.
The news anchor was saying it on his behalf at this point, I think. She was like,
okay.
Little Tyson said he's going to use the money to go to theme parks. And then she said, he's going to use the money to donate to the war in Ukraine.
Oh, God.
Kid don't need money that bad. He's giving it away. He's giving the fucking money away. This is what I said. This is what Stephanie got mad at me about. I said, you know what this is going to teach the kid? That money don't fix everything because you still don't got any friends. Even though you got 40 grand. Now what it's going to do is the kids are going to be like, you heard that? You heard he got 40 grand? And all the kids in the neighborhood are going to be like, hey man, oh you were asking to play with us? We didn't know. Yeah, we'll hang out with you. They get like, let's go to Chuck E. Cheese. They're like, let me hold a 5, let me hold a 20. What is the money gonna do?
I was friends with this Czechoslovakian kid when I was in high school because he was always buying this shit. He was rich. He was one of the exchange students and he was loaded. And he was like offering to buy his shoes and shit. So I was like, yeah, he's my friend. I didn't care for him.
Damn.
I don't even remember his name. It was like Peter Koshkalov or some shit.
40 grand. Like, that money could be used for, like, literally anything else.
That's a lot of money, man.
Literally anything else. I mean, it's good that the family has an extra 40 grand laying around, but it was like, that was
I just think we should investigate this kid. There's a reason why he doesn't have friends.
Dude, I thought about that, and I was like, how crazy would it be, right? If, like a week from now, some like news people go to that neighborhood and they start interviewing the kids and they're like, no, we were like, I went over his house and then he just had like, he was drowning gerbils and he was like showing us. He was like, hey, you want to come over and see something? And he just drowned a gerbil in front of us. And we were like,
Dude,
we started crying and we
shit.
left. That's what you thought something was up, right?
Yeah, he doesn't seem like, I don't know. There's a reason. Maybe there isn't. But
come on. Now you can't say
something's
that.
telling me.
You can't say that.
that kid, there was because he's like, the kids next door. Well, I used to hang out with them, but they bully me. I'm like,
oh, you think the
like,
used to means he did something shady?
I think he's the bully.
Oh, damn.
I don't know. It just
damn, Roddy.
that something ain't right.
You about
there.
to get this show canceled. You
No,
about to
you
get
know,
this show canceled
if the show gets canceled, we'll have to do a little field work and we'll go to that neighborhood and
we'll start.
Get to
We'll
the
have
bottom
we'll
of it.
get the neighborhood kids on the show.
yeah. And
Like,
if we're
yo, what
wrong, then
happened?
we'll apologize and shit. That's fine.
If you're wrong, I didn't say anything about his character. I said
If-
there may have been
I'm
drowning of
speaking on
gerbils.
behalf of Gritty Knows Best right now. I wouldn't say this shit on my show.
Oh my! Well, it would be in Spanish, so my viewers they wouldn't even know. Only Spanish speakers would know. Listen, you got 2 kids, right?
Yeah.
How old's the oldest one?
7.
You need to send her out. Who got a ring in the neighborhood? Send her out. Knock on the door. Listen, nobody wants to hang out with me. You get a nice 40 grand. Listen, she's a Spanish kid, so you got to play that up. She's like, listen, the kids are fucking racist around here. They don't want to hang out with me. They keep saying racial things to me. You might get 100 grand for that.
That's
Easy.
a good idea because we
100.
could use the money for sure.
You gotta be like, yo, like she got to be like, the neighborhood kids are throwing tacos at me, like they're saying like, the racial slurs. Yo, you will get 100 grand easy.
That's
Easy.
a good idea. Where was this?
Who knows? I don't even know. I don't
The
even
Midwest.
know.
I fucking hate the Midwest because they call it the Midwest and it's still way out east.
Now you see, I'm already lost because I don't know maps and stuff like that. I don't even know.
That's right. Yeah, you're not. Much
All
of
I
a-
know,
I'm not much
Midwest
of a
is
good
like
geography.
is like Missouri and Detroit. Only 2 things I
Right.
know in the Midwest.
Minnesota and shit. To me,
Minnesota.
that's way far east still. So I was always like, how is that Midwest when it's still way the fuck over there?
Right. Well, listen, shout out to the family. They got a smooth 40 grand, and that is not, I'm not trying to take that away. All right. Go to Disney. Go do something nice for yourselves. Nice little come up. No?
Yeah. Yeah. Good for them.
Nice little
Good for
come
them
up.
for
You're not going to play.
What kind of fucking stupid idiots donating?
That's
to
what
that,
I'm
too?
saying. I'm not trying to play hate on the people that got the money. It's just whose idea was go, you know what we're going to do? We're going to give them $10. We're going to give them $100. Like, what is that going to do?
Yeah.
That's literally going to teach them that money is not going to solve that problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you can't buy friendship. You can't buy real friendship.
Only if you're giving people sneakers. And as long as you could do that, I guess.
Yeah. And I mean, he was European. I mean, I've never seen him again.
Right. I wonder how he's doing, that kid that you hung out with.
You know, there's another kid. He's a German kid. I wonder what he's doing. And I liked him for real. We were real friends. And every 4 years when the World Cup would come along, we'd get it back in touch over Facebook. But then the last couple of World Cups, he just kind of disappeared. And we're all wondering where he went.
I don't think I've ever been friends with a German guy. I don't think
He
we're
was
in.
cool.
I don't know if I saw our show in Germany. I read that list on the show the other day. I don't think we're in Germany. So
Well,
we
in
might
case
be.
you are, and in case Chris Storzel is listening, we miss you out here in Idaho, buddy.
Shout out to Chris.
He was a good kid.
Now-
a good kid.
Do you think, okay, if I threw Skittles at your back as hard as I can, that it would hurt you?
Yeah, well, not like hurt me, but it would hurt.
You think it would hurt?
Like it would hurt, but it's not like it would hurt me. Like I'm not gonna like.
You mean it's
have
gonna
any
hurt you
sort of
emotionally?
Trauma and contusions. No, like it's gonna hurt physically. You know, because there's a difference of are you gonna be hurt and did it hurt? Like did it hurt? Yeah, well it wasn't pleasant, but
Because there was an article that came out about
you know,
a
but
guy.
I'm okay. I can go to work tomorrow probably.
There was a guy who ran up in a restaurant and started throwing Skittles at people. All right. And he threw it at this lady's back. And she was like, I knew I got hit with something because I felt a stinging pain. And I was like, a stinging pain?
yeah, not that much.
Skittles? Now, maybe if
Yeah,
it was some
I
fucking.
guess that's the thing. It's gonna hurt like when it hits, but that's it. Like that instant hurt, and then.
But
it's
is it
done.
going to sting?
Yeah, I don't think so.
You think she was dragging it, right?
Like it's like it pierced her skin.
So again, I bring this up to like Dre and Stephanie, and they're like, "Oh, come on, what are you crazy? It's gonna hurt." I was like, "All right, Dre, next time I see you, I want you to get a handful of Skittles and throw them as hard as you can at my back, because I truly believe it will not hurt. It will not give me a stinging sensation. I will tell you that right now. I may be like, what was that? Like I could definitely let you know a projectile has hit my back. Will it sting? I don't know. I think there was an exaggeration. And if she was looking to get a bag, I don't think she will because that man had, he did not look like he had a bag at all. He didn't look like he had a pot to piss in. All right. So
Why was he doing that though? Just for fun?
You know, shits and giggles, I guess.
For a YouTube video?
Yeah, you know how the kids are these days. It's a prank, and then they, and they.
You should do that. You should be like,
that's not my generation. I'll tell you right now, that is not my generation. It's a prank. It's a prank. My generation is beat down time. Let me tell you this because this has been happening a lot at concerts and stuff, right? Where people throw shit on. I saw one of the pop stars. She got hit with a phone, and then I think it was Harry Styles ended up getting beamed in the face with Skittles. Now this hurt because he got hit in the eye. Okay, that hurts. He got hit in the eye with Skittles. Some other chick got a bracelet thrown in her face, right? Now, you've been to a lot of concerts, and I'm sure concerts that would align at least with the values of the concerts I used to go to. And I will tell you this right now. If you did that to any of the artists that I grew up watching, if they saw you, if they knew who you were going to get your ass beat to an extent you would never even imagine.
Yep.
I don't know what's going on these days, but these people need to start getting beat.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's all these wussy pop fans like that too. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
because if it wasn't the artist that was retaliating, you know damn well the crowd was going to retaliate on something like that.
So I mean, yeah, the girls I could see, and like Harry Styles, whatever, like they're not going to jump in the crowd and beat them up, but there needs to be repercussion for stuff like this because the artists that I grew up listening to, ICP, all these guys would have jumped headfirst in the crowd and stomped them out. I mean, I remember the last time that happened to Lil Wayne. Somebody did something to him. And it was the video. The video came out of him like whispering to a security guard. Security guard moseyed on down to the to the crowd, knocked him right out. Boom, done.
Remember that time, fucking Afro Man? That lady came up behind him.
Oh yeah,
he wasn't even attacking him, and he just kind of reacted and socked
that
him
was
in the
crazy.
face.
That was cool. A little too wild because.
But the thing is, everybody went after him. But I'm like, I don't think he was like, I'm gonna hit a bitch in the face. It was just like. I think it was just like a reaction.
You think
like
he was just swatting at anything?
Yeah, like someone's just creeping up behind me and he just swung.
Yeah, like because I grew up. This may be also a difference because I grew up. The concerts I went to, you could get on stage, and they wouldn't care. But I don't blame people though, who if you do get on stage, you get your ass beat because you don't know what that person's intentions are. So I haven't seen people get beat up for going on stage, but I wouldn't. If I did see it, I'd be like, listen. You knew you didn't know they didn't know what you were there for. I knew the shows I went to, it was kind of in the code of conduct. It was allowed. You knew that you weren't going to get beat up for that. But, you go on stage, they don't know if you got a knife. I mean, that girl, remember that? It was years and years. I was like 12 or 10 when this happened probably. But that girl, Christina something, guy shows up at a meet and greet, shoots her right in front of her family.
Oh, shit.
Bang.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
So you don't know why somebody goes on stage.
Remember that time Borat kidnapped Pamela Anderson? That was cool.
No, I don't. It was in the movie.
It was in the movie.
I don't remember that. I remember seeing the movie.
At first, I thought it was real, but I think in recent years they've come out and said that it was all that she was in on it.
Okay, I mean it had to be because she was big time at that time. I'm sure. So it would have been something would have happened.
But I mean, it's stuff like that, and I think security guards have the job. It's the same thing with like cops. You have that thin line of like how much force is too much,
Yeah.
Like get them off the stage, make sure that nothing happens. But like,
right.
If it's some little kid, like shouldn't be tackling him to the ground either. Like
no.
Get him off the
you
stage.
need to have some kind of restraint and some kind of thought about what you're doing. You can't just straight. But if it's like a fully grown man coming on stage and you feel like your life's in danger or something.
And it's Ariana Grande, little 5 foot.
Oh yeah, you might have to knock him out.
Like, yeah.
But that's what's going on these days. It's a prank stuff. Like half those people need to just get beat up for sure. Like don't be fucking with people like that. You don't know what somebody's doing. You don't know what's going on with somebody. Like don't be touching people. Don't be spraying shit on people because don't be surprised if something bad happens to you and nobody's gonna feel bad about it.
You need to do the video though. Yo, this is Gritty, and we're gonna go. Throw Skittles at Dre.
Oh,
come on.
I'll throw them at Dre. But if you think I'm doing that in my neighborhood, no.
Yeah, don't do it on the street.
I'm gonna get shot. And listen, if I did do that, if I had a mental breakdown and started throwing Skittles at people in my neighborhood and I got shot, I don't want anybody to feel bad, okay? Because I deserved it.
Well, yeah. I'll start making memes about it.
Yeah. But make a GoFundMe for Justin and everybody though. They'll get paid just for no reason. Just cause.
Just because we're sad.
Just cause. Yeah. Now we have never talked about this ever. We have known you for a long time, but didn't you go to prison for like stealing cars?
I didn't go to prison. I got no, I didn't steal cars. That was all.
Oh, it was like, did you say you went to prison for Grand Theft Auto?
No, just grand theft. I have a felony, but I was able to sidestep prison, and I just ended up doing 14 days in county. But I didn't even do them like in a row. The judge let me do like, he said, "Well, I don't want you to lose your job because you got to pay all these fines and restitution. So you have 90 days to do 14 days, whether you do them all in a row or you do them on weekends, whatever." So I'm like, that's
wait.
perfect.
So what happened from the beginning? What did you do? It was grand theft.
We were working at JC Penney. I was working at JC Penney, and dude, store. I'm not the only person that does this. And I would say 80 to 90% of store clerks at any store do this. You see your friends and you ring them up, let them take a couple of shit for free. Who cares? It's a giant company that's not going to feel it. And so I was doing that. And a cousin of mine was working there too, and she noticed, and I was like, yeah, just do it for a couple of people if you want, just do it here and there. But she started it like overdoing it like bad. Like and they started noticing a trend where she would ring up like $500 worth of stuff, and then she would cancel the transaction, and the next transaction was like a $5 transaction or something. So they started to see this pattern, so they started investigating her. They started investigating me, and they started noticing it. And I mean, she's the one that was overdoing it. When she got pinned with 14 grand that she had to pay back.
Woo!
That
she's letting people slide and letting people take shit.
Yeah, that's the stuff they could prove on her that she let people take or that she took herself. And with me, they were able to prove $2,000.
Wow.
And unfortunately, where it's over 1,000, that counts as grand theft, so it was a felony. And so
now, did you get caught because she got caught?
Yep, it was pretty much.
Damn.
If I would have never let her in on it, that's why I'm like, oh man, you don't let people in on your shit.
You should have kept that to yourself, man.
Yeah, and so.
Now, did you think you have to go to jail? Did you think you were going to go to jail? Be like, oh fuck, I'm definitely going to jail for this.
Yeah, well, where it's a felony, that's what our attorney was telling us. He's like, you're probably not, but it is a felony. So if there is like any sort of prison time, he's like, it's a felony.
Could be like a year, right? Like minimum.
I can't remember what the prison time was, because I mean, because this with a sentence, I got those 14 days to go to county jail, but they still put it over your head, like where you're on felony probation, and if you fuck up, you still might serve. I think it was 4 years.
Wow.
If you like fuck up or anything, but
$2 grand.
Yep.
How long were you on probation for?
I want to say 4 years.
Wow, for $2 grand.
Yeah. Well, it's felony probation.
Damn.
It was 3 or 4 years.
Now her, I guess it was 14, but shit.
Yeah, and that was the thing. She ended up doing a lot more on probation, because you can't get off probation until you pay all that shit off. So.
Oh, that was a stipulation.
Yeah. So even though she jumped through all the hoops, we super quick. Like we had to take a stupid we had to go to this class. It was like Stealing Anonymous or some shit, pretty much. And I hated it. You know what? I walked in there with I left all my money at home and stuff, because I'm like, I'm gonna be in a room with a bunch of thieves.
People like to steal. Well, it was like you had to like AA for
like
thieves.
You pretty much, but it was just like I'm one time, like a couple hours. You have to go through this workbook of why stealing is bad. I'm like, I know it's bad. Come on.
What are you?
But 8? Just little hoops that you have to jump through to get off of probation. So she got out. She got done with it just as fast as I did, but then she still had a lot of money to pay off still. So
wow.
But yeah, so I still have a felony. I can't vote, and I can't be on a jury, which I never wanted to be on a jury.
Now
I can't own a gun.
Did you do more? I don't know if you can. I'm sure you can say it now because you're off probation. But did you do more than $2 grand, and they only got you on $2 grand, or was it really only $2 grand?
Oh man, there's a lot of stuff that they can't prove.
Okay, we'll just leave it at that. We'll just leave it at that.
Even more than merchandise, there's just a lot of stuff that cannot be proved.
That's a good answer. We'll leave it.
I was living it up. I'll tell you that much.
All right, nice. Pennies. I fucking hate that store. I just have memories of my mom dragging me there every weekend. I just hated it so much.
Really? See, I started working there because I love that store. That's where I bought all my clothes. That was the worst part about getting fucking fired and getting the felony. It's like I got banned from the one here in town, so I'm like, oh man, where
Isn't
am I
there
gonna
one
get all
like
my V-necks
very
now?
similar to Penny's though? What's the
We
is
had
it?
Macy's, but I didn't like Macy's as
That's
much.
what I'm thinking.
And now we don't have a Macy's. Our Macy's closed down. I'm surprised JCPenney's still open. Everything's
Oh
closed
yeah, I
down
think
here.
they definitely closed the one where I used to go in the Bronx.
Yeah.
I think they closed that one down. I think they're closing down. Like
A
they're
lot
not
of
doing
them.
good, right? Pennies.
No, yeah. Yeah, and I'm
Penny's is
surprised
not
the one
doing
that we have here is still open.
Dude, Amazon's taking everything. Amazon's
Yeah.
taking You could buy anything on there.
Yeah.
I mean,
You really
that just
can.
goes without saying these days. But it's just wild because that's another thing that like kids today won't even that like your daughter will not know because especially by the time she gets to like the time where you
There
can
won't be
go to
like any retail stores. Yeah.
yeah, where you can go out to a mall and stuff like go shopping. When is the time do you like? Is there going to be a time where the youth will not have the shopping days? Is it just going to
Yeah,
all be
I mean,
online?
I think it's getting close. Yeah.
Because when I was growing up, 14 to, 18, we would go out shopping all day. And, you'd have your friends that can't buy stuff. Maybe you'd break them all. "Hey, I'll buy you a shirt. You guys hang out. You go get something to eat. Then you go get some sneakers or something like that." And it was a day. It
Yeah.
was a whole day. Now it's just like, I need this. Amazon, 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 Amazon.
That was
Not that
hanging
it's
out
bad,
with the
but-
Czechoslovakian kid. It's like, hey, let's go to the mall and come
Yeah,
back with some new
dude.
K-Swiss and shit.
Go to Hot Topic.
yeah.
Go get some CDs.
Oh yeah,
That's another thing.
That Hot Topic used to be badass too. Now it's
Hot
kind of
Topic
lame.
was, and that has been on the decline since I was in high school. I think by
Yeah.
the time I got in high school, it was already not that cool. It was like really cool when I was in elementary to middle school. That's when they still were like hardcore, like gothic and stuff. And now it's
Yeah,
more
yeah.
pop culture, right?
Yeah, and that's when I liked it too. And I used to always get my Chuck Taylors there because they were always a little bit cheaper than every other store. They were cheaper than Journeys and JCPenney and everywhere else. And then they were back then they were like 40, like $35 there, I think, and like $40 everywhere else.
You still got the trip pants there, which I never wore, but I did want to wear
I
them
never
as a
wore those,
kid.
but they were cool.
Yeah, I thought they were cool as a kid. Now I would not wear them, but I begged my mom. She was like, "No, you're not walking around looking like Marilyn Manson. You're not doing
The
that."
chicks that wore those at school, they all smelled bad, but they gave you hand jobs. So it was like,
Yeah, I could definitely attest to some hand jobs. I don't know about the ones I've been with smelled fine. They definitely
Oh,
smelled
yeah.
fine. They smelled fine.
Well-
They had the the scene hair, the emo hair.
yeah.
We were just talking about MySpace the other day. Me and my mom, she was like, remember MySpace? I was like, do I remember MySpace? What?
That
I used
was
to
the
be
best.
all over there, bro.
Fuck
like,
yeah.
it's not, social media is not even the same. It's just so sanitized and so fucking lame. And it's just so cookie cutter. Back then, it was just like, the other thing is, I'm sure you probably can relate to this because I think all of us are like this. Remember back, this is like, now we sound like old men, but remember when you would just go on different websites all day and now we just go on the same like 3?
Yeah, or you were like, that's why I was always like, oh, I'm surfing the web.
Yeah.
Like that always sounded lame, but seriously, what you come across these different websites and just stuff that you didn't even expect to
Yeah,
be
there'd
into.
be games on there. There'd be
Yeah.
like message boards on there. And you just go chill. Like there would be
Or
all
like the-
kind of websites.
The bands that you liked would have their own website. Now they all just have their social media presence, but each one of them had to have like a cool website. They would have cool games that had to
Yeah.
do with their music and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
all
Nowadays,
that's
what
gone away.
what is the thing? It's got to be Warzone and Fortnite, right? Like that's the only thing that I
yes, yeah,
think
Fortnite.
like my nieces and nephews are coming up with that like is anything that they see cool, right? That they can do together.
My daughter's still into Roblox.
Roblox,
Roblox
right? It's
a lot,
Roblox,
yeah.
Minecraft, Warzone, and I think obviously Fortnite.
And those are pretty cool just because you can, especially now that like she used to like to play that when she was like 4 years old, but now that she knows how to read and write, it's like it's a whole social thing where she's on there talking
Yeah.
to different kids and shit.
Yeah, so that's
And, like
cool.
her cousins all get on, they know when they're on and stuff. I'm like, well, that's pretty fun. And I'm like,
Yeah.
sometimes I get on her about being on there too much, but I'm like, honestly, I was playing my Nintendo 64 all day. Could you imagine playing Nintendo 64 games back in the day if they could have been online? Like you're playing with your friends.
Oh my
and shit.
god. Hell yeah. Yeah, I didn't I was not, you're a little older than me, so I didn't I guess I grew up with solitary games. But not for long. By the time I
Yeah.
was in middle school, it was like you could talk to your friends on the game all day, and that's what we
Yeah.
did. all day, all night. I would never go to sleep. I would just do that, go to school all weekend. I had a job. I would just go to my job dead tired because I'd just be talking to my friends on Xbox all day.
Because you're on there all day, all night. And back in my day, it was like, well, your friends could come over and play, but they weren't going to be there long, obviously. So
right, yeah. That was the thing. Yeah, can you come over, bring your controller? Remember that?
Yeah. And we
do come over and bring your controller, like split
Crazy,
screen.
Man.
They don't know. They don't know shit about split screen.
Yeah.
It was like, yo, don't look at my. Remember you like play a game where it was like, don't look at my screen. You see where I am. Like, don't look at my screen, bitch.
We used to play even not too long ago when I had my apartment before I got married and all that shit. We used to play Super Mario Kart 64. And I had this tiny little TV and we'd play 4 players on it. So we'd each be looking at the little part of the screen. It was fun.
Like a Zoom call.
And it's funny because by the time I got a big TV, like everybody kind of went their separate ways and nobody would come over and play anymore. I was like, guys, is that ironic? Like the only time we ever played on this was when we had this tiny little TV.
Damn. Now we sound like we're opening up a time capsule or something right now.
Yeah, but I mean, even that wasn't that it was practically retro gaming because that was like 2011, 12.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like they were already old games.
I still got to buy. I have to buy an old Xbox so I could beat that Manhunt game that I talked about on the show like months ago.
Oh yeah.
I still have to get an old Xbox and hook it up.
What's Facebook Marketplace like out there where you live?
I don't have Facebook. I hate Facebook, so I never go on it. But I know you're big on it. You could look for me. You could broker the deal.
Yeah, well, I could find. I guess we could just search in your area, huh?
Yeah,
that's the thing.
I don't know how. I don't know how that's gonna be out here because it's not like I'm living in the city anymore. So yeah. I don't know how many people have an old Xbox.
I think it's just here. It just gives us a little bit more assurance with where it's so small. Like you see it, like every single person, someone that you've never seen is selling something, but there's always like 2 or 3 people that you have in common as friends. So it's like, like if someone fucks me over, I can probably find them and kick their ass. So
I never know. Somebody might have an old Xbox in my building.
Yeah, you might.
And I'm sure Crackhead will find one if I can't.
Give them some. You could just give them some crack. Put a Crackhead on the case. They can find anything anywhere.
I just put a bounty. Just put a bounty on it. Yo, if you could find me an OG Xbox, bro, I'll give you the fattest rock you could fucking imagine. I'll have like 6.
Yeah, then you can.
I'll have like 10 of them. Yeah.
See,
man.
Now you're thinking you got to work with what you got.
That's right, because we did have to cancel the Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
And we got security now in the building, so we couldn't. The Easter egg hunt probably would have got disbanded, man. I don't know.
So no more people crawling in the window and shit.
Yeah, they shut down the laundry room. They got 24-hour security now. They're making rounds. I mean,
they ruined it for everybody.
People were worried. People were nervous in the building. I can understand. I can understand. There was a lot going on. It was a.
What is it? You're on the 16th floor. Is that right?
16, baby.
God,
floor 16. Elevator stays breaking down. Like every time I fucking like and by that door over there, I hear which means somebody's stuck in the elevator. Somebody's stuck in the elevator. They're calling the bell.
The alarm.
Yeah, they're hitting the bell.
That's fucked up.
All right, so
what was that movie where someone got sliced in half in an elevator? What was that?
Oh man, I don't know.
Was it one of the Final Destination movies?
Probably.
Yeah,
probably. Cool. But I have a question. Speaking of Final Destination, I'm glad you said that because we're gonna kind of transfer over to something. I guess we're gonna talk about fate for a second because I do want to know if you do believe in fate with things like that.
I really don't. The thing is with fate, there's a lot of things like this. I don't believe in anything, and I don't believe in fate. But then things happen in my life that really make me question it. You know what I mean? Like there's this one chick I was working at a call center for the longest time when I was a lot younger. And this chick, her name was Melinda. She's a really nice girl, really pretty blonde girl that worked there. And during the winter, I would always go out and like start everybody's cars before we close because we'd leave like 11 at night. So at 10:30 ish, I would go out and start everybody's cars so they'd warm up before we had to leave. And she had one of those cars where you don't need to stick the key in it. You just have to have the fob in the car with you, and then you push the button and it starts. And so we go back. I turn everybody's car on and go back inside. And I start leaving, and I'm almost on the highway, and I get a call from my friend Stephanie, and she's like, "Hey, did you leave?" I was, "Where you at?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm about to get on the highway." She's like, "Turn around." It's like, why? I was like, I'll do it, but why? And she's like, well, Melinda says she doesn't have her key on her and she thinks you have it. And I looked in my pocket. I'm like, oh shit, I do have her car key. Okay, I'll be right back. So I turn back around. I drive back to work and yeah, sure enough, she's standing there. And Stephanie's like, dude, she's so meek. Like she was just standing there. She wasn't gonna do shit about it. She was just standing there in the fucking cold in the snow, like looking all worried. And I was like, what's wrong? And she didn't want to tell me. And she finally told me, oh, well, I think Rodrigo has my car keys. And I guess she was even like, oh, well, I'll call him right now. Yeah, I have his phone number. I'll hit him up right now. And she was like, no, it's okay. Don't bother him. And I'm like, oh my God.
How the hell are you going to get home?
Yeah. So, but that's how nice she was, just to show you how meek she was. And then a few weeks later, she's having her lunch at her desk and she's eating some chicken. I think it was like some Chinese, like sweet and sour chicken. And she starts choking. The same girl that sat next with her, Stephanie, stands up. She's like, oh my God, guys, she's fucking choking. We look over and she's just turning purple. Like she's completely choking bad. And so I run over there and I Heimlich her and she's fucking chunk of chicken comes out of her mouth. And then fucking like there was even a little bit of blood on it. Like it was bad. It was lodged in there bad. I don't know how bad it was. And I saved her life. It felt really good because I saved her life.
Hell yeah.
And
I never did
what's that?
I said, hell yeah, I never saved nobody's life.
Yeah, I felt really good about saving her life. But a couple weeks later, she doesn't come to work, and then it's on the news that her sister's ex-boyfriend broke into their house. She lived with her sister, broke into her house. She shot her sister, his and the two little kids that they had together, and he shot Melinda in the face.
Wow.
And so, like, maybe it was her fate to die that night choking on the chicken, but I saved her.
She ended up dying a week later.
Yeah.
That's some Final Destination shit for real.
Yeah.
That's like what the movie's about.
And I've always wondered, like, what's worse, like getting shot in the face or choking to death while all your coworkers around?
I'd rather get shot in the face because that seems quicker. Choking
and
choking. I mean,
she was.
Have you choked before like that? Like, have you choked on something?
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's like
bad.
you think, and it's like when you really think, like, oh shit, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, and it feels like it's hours and it's like a couple of seconds.
I'd rather just pow.
A lot more agonizing. And she was in bed from what they said on the news. She was asleep, so she might not have even felt anything.
Wow.
That nuts. So that's why I don't believe that. That's why I say I don't believe in fate. But then stuff like that happens, and I'm like, maybe it was just her fate. Like that was the end of her life.
Oh my God, poor woman. Let me tell you right now, I don't believe in coincidences. Like sometimes, but like generally, I don't believe in coincidences. I don't know if that was meant to happen, but I think coincidences sometimes. But I always say I don't believe in anything 100%. So I don't believe that there's no coincidences. But I definitely believe coincidences are super rare, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Or am I just...
Yeah, like some things are coincidences, but for the most part...
But for the most part, everything is... Yeah, I think everything's kind of laid out. I mean, we had that episode years ago. We did the episode where we were talking about, like, there's a theory that we all sign contracts when we come down.
Oh, yeah, the soul contracts?
Yeah, soul contracts. Do you believe in that or no?
I never even heard of that until I heard that episode. That's the first season shit, huh?
Yeah, but way back machine.
Definitely super interesting. I mean, I like different theories like that, but even whether I believe them or not.
Yeah.
That's one of those theories where it's like I'm not going to sit here and say I believe it, but if it turns out that it's true, I wouldn't be surprised. Like if somehow I find out that is true, it's like, oh, well, that makes sense. It just makes a lot of sense,
right? It's like, because I've just so many times in my life where things have just lined up, or like, you're about to be in a really bad situation. All of a sudden something happens that gets you out of it. And you were like, I could have never done that. I could have never planned that. Like that just came out of left field. And that makes you think like, I don't know. Like once that happens, all right, 4 or 5 times shit lines up like that. I don't know. I mean, our brains are like wired to make connections. So who knows? I'm sure if you brought like, what's his name, Sam Harris, or is that the guy that doesn't believe in God? He's always debating like Jordan Peterson on God being real or something like that. Is that him?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know the name.
Oh, I'm sure if you bring him here, he'll give you like some. Our brain is scientifically is gonna make connections and everything. I'm sure he'll have some long fucking boring explanation as to why that shit is. Why that shit happens, statistically speaking, not everybody actually has those experiences. That's pretty much this is anecdotal at this point. He'll come with some fucking diatribe that'll bore the shit out of us. It's not as fun to believe that anyway. It's more fun to believe in this. It's more fun, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's like I said, I mean, yeah, that's why like on my show a lot of times people will try to get me to talk about my beliefs or lack of beliefs, but I'm like,
Right.
it's not fun. Like it's not interesting. Like I'd rather talk about stuff that I don't believe in, like ghosts and shit. Like I don't believe any of that shit, but it's a lot
Damn.
more fun to talk about than to sit here and just be like, oh, the ghost ain't real.
Yeah. Whether ghosts exist or not, which I totally think they do, it is very fun to talk about them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I would rather talk about stuff whether or not I believe them. It's all theoretical anyway.
Right.
Like
So
I said,
what do
I
you-
could be wrong.
So let me ask you this though: Bigfoot, yay or nay? Real or not real?
I think he was real at one point. I don't think they're there anymore.
There's a lot of different theories as of
I
like
think they're extinct.
the cool. I don't like watching those shows because it's so boring. Like, who wants to watch a fucking Bigfoot show? I don't understand that. Like, there's like literally like a ghost show. You can make that fun, right? Like the whole like you're going to a spooky place. You don't know what's gonna happen. You can kind of fake shit. Like you can, they gotta do that once in a while. They can't go to every place and there's gonna be activity, and they just find ways to spice it up. Bigfoot. I mean, what are we doing in the woods? How can we make that entertaining? Am I wrong? I mean, am I talking shit here or what?
Well, yeah, I guess it's the longevity of it. I guess that's what you're saying with the ghost shows. You can spice it up and make a ghost show go on for.
And it's
for
like the
seasons,
stories too. It's like, oh, today we're going to old man Wilkins' house
yeah.
and he shot his wife in the head, and they say that you could hear her crying at 2. It's like the stories, but Bigfoot. It's like, okay, we're gonna go in the
Bigfoot
woods.
is one story and it's one guy.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Now, what I do think is cool though is like the reasons people. I do like listening to like a podcast about people explaining why they think Bigfoot is real and like evidence that they found. You know what I mean? Like later on that they've collected, because there's different theories as to why Bigfoot could be real. Some people really think that he is like, just so deep in the woods that you can't find him and he comes out eventually. And some people really believe that he's like kind of like a supernatural being, that he kind of just like teleports around. So that I find interesting. And actually now you're going to make me like listen to more Bigfoot podcasts. So a Bigfoot podcast I can understand. Also the same thing with like alien, with people that like search for aliens. That is like a real fruitless endeavor. What are we doing here? We're just stargazing at this point. An alien, that shit got to fall in your lap. Right?
But the stories are cool. With the aliens, they're a little bit more interesting than the Bigfoot stuff, just because there's so many more.
No. The stories I'm saying,
like,
but I'm saying like an alien show, like the show where they go looking for them. That's boring.
Yeah,
You're just stargazing. You're like, well, I mean, approximately they might be here.
yeah.
It's like, well, what are you gonna do? Just look with a fucking telescope?
We can make that up anywhere. We can go outside and be like, oh, that's where I saw
It's like,
it.
how could you make an alien show interesting? Because if you don't catch anything, it's boring.
Then you're just talking about.
You're just
what
literally sitting there under the stars. That's the show. I've never seen an
Might as well
entertaining
just go
alien
outside
show.
and sit under the stars.
Exactly.
See, and I like the Bigfoot stuff because I think it's just where I'm at, the Pacific Northwest. It's such a big thing. My daughter had a big Bigfoot phase for a while. She has like a stuffed animal Bigfoot and stuff,
tight.
just because everything's so big around here. I mean, the college I went to, Idaho State University, they get clowned on a lot because there's a big Bigfoot professor there. Like he has like imprints, and he has a whole class on Bigfoot.
Wait, for real?
And he's written books about Bigfoot existence.
Wait, can we get this guy on the show?
He'd probably be down.
Dude,
if we could reach out to him.
Let's do that. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
and-
you're the
and-
connect, so
And that's the thing, like
would love
he
to do
takes
that.
it with such seriousness, and he tells you about it, and it seems very scholarly. But on the other side of that, it's like sometimes when that's the fame of the school, it's like, where'd you go to college? And I'm like, Idaho State University, and some people will know, like, oh, the Bigfoot University. It's
Bigfoot,
like,
you?
like, yep, like, yeah, that was my school.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to that guy. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we should. Like, yeah, because I hadn't thought about him for a long time, but yeah, he'd probably be down because he's been on the news and like on TV about that stuff. So
Yeah, that'll be cool. But definitely, we won't be going into the woods with him. That's like, what are we doing there?
yeah,
I'd rather watch like a hunting show. At least they're gonna find
they
an
might
animal.
actually hit someone.
They're gonna find an
hit
animal
something.
and
Or
pop
hit
him
someone
something.
like fucking what's his name, Vice President. What's his name that shot
Oh,
his
was it
friend?
Dick Cheney?
Yeah, Dick Cheney fucking
shot his friend?
That's fucking
Oh my god.
See, like that was funny too because it's like, well, you're out in the woods hunting with a senile old man, like you're about to get shot. Like you knew the risk.
Did the guy die?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
'cause
think
I
he
don't
just-
remember.
I don't think he did.
So you listen to the Halloween episodes that we do then with the ghost stories? Because I didn't think you did.
No, yeah, I like all that stuff. It's like I said,
Okay.
just because I don't believe in some of them, I don't like it. You know what I mean?
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun, man. And this was fun. It was this is the first time I think it's been you and I on a show solo. We did the one
I think
on the
so,
6-hour
yeah.
special where it was you and the guys, and we were pretty much just piling on Crow for half the time. So you just sat there and looked at us like we were lunatics. So, you know, it
Then
was great having you on.
I was on the 100th episode with you and Justin.
Right. I always forget that. Isn't
That
it
was,
like,
I think that
don't
was-
you, because you, obviously, I want to talk about this for a minute, that you do your own show, like I said, and isn't it just, does that happen to you yet? Because I don't know, we're like at 140, 41 now. Do people bring up episodes and you're like, I don't even, what are you talking about? I don't even remember that at all.
Hasn't happened much, but it has happened where they're like, remember that time you said that on the show, and I'm like, what the fuck? Did I?
Yeah. So yeah,
or
but you don't remember whole episodes that hasn't erased yet from your memory?
Not yet. Not whole episodes. I can usually they can usually still boggle my mind a little bit to where I remember at least. Oh, okay, it must have been on this episode or that episode, but yeah, but I mean that's been my whole life too, where people are like, remember that time you said this really funny thing that's really fucked up, and I'm like, I don't remember saying that. I'm like, I'm not saying I didn't, I just don't remember it.
I'll forget like literally after I say it, and then you'll send me a text or somebody will send me a text to be like, the Easter egg thing was crazy, and I'm like, what did I say about Easter eggs? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Actually, that happened to me very recently on an episode because we record them so far ahead that by the time it dropped, it had already been like 3-4 weeks since we'd recorded it. And Brandon asked me, said, "Hey, I like the part where you guys said that." I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, I guess that's even worse when you do it like weeks in advance.
Yeah, and I had to like go back and actually listen to it. He's like, "It's about." He told me the timestamp on it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I remember now."
How long you been doing the show now?
We're on episode tomorrow. Episode number 57 drops.
Like a year and a half.
And we've been doing it for a little over a year. It was a year in April, so yeah.
All right, so a little over a year now. So did you notice anything like how did you feel around the year mark about about the podcast in general? Did you notice anything different? Did you notice improvement? Did you like what did you think about a year in? How did you feel?
Just a year in, it was like a whole different show.
Really?
Like a whole different show than what I started out doing, and like stuff that I never thought we were gonna do. Like that wasn't the plan. But I never really had much of a plan. It's like, let's just do it, see what happens. So it was just cool to see how many more people have like wanted to get involved, and how I'm like starting to build that rotating cast, kind of the way you guys have. So yeah. So it's just like from the first episode, it was just me interviewing my friend who I thought was interesting, to like now we just go to the studio and have a good time.
Yeah, it's more free form.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
And we still do the like if someone's coming on as a guest and if like they have a business or something, yeah, it goes more into the interviewee part of it. But especially where we have that commercial break, we put our sponsors right in the middle of the show. Like I always tell people, like, all right, the first like 20 to 30 minutes, we're going to talk about your story, your business. We're going to promote. After the commercial, all hell's a breaking loose, and we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, I like how you do that. It's like you have a serious. When you have a guest, you have like that time where you focus on them, and then after that, it's like everybody else just gets to, you just cut loose.
Yep, and that's kind of the format we've fallen into. I mean, it's that like the first year there was kind of trying to have a format, and I'm getting better at like just keeping the conversation alive. And the first season, it was a lot of, I would keep little bits up my sleeve that I would pre-plan in case things were going really slow. I'd be like, hey, check this out, and I would do some stupid little planned bit. But other than that, like now I don't really do that anymore because we just keep the momentum going.
Right. So you still love it? Do you like it more now? Is there like, how do you feel about podcasting as of right now? Do you go through ebbs and flows? Like, I mean, like I guess a lot of people do. Because I don't really talk to podcasters like that. So do you go through periods where it's like maybe you don't like it as much, or maybe you just don't feel creatively charged? Do you go through those periods?
For the most part, I do still enjoy it a lot and love it, but there has been times when it kind of feels like a chore, like, shit, I got to go in. Like we have shit planned and I don't want to, but once I'm there, it's like, okay, I'm glad we're doing this. And then there's been, maybe 3 times now where I start feeling very sluggish about it. And then, fate has its ways, I guess. There it is again, where somebody will come up to me and ask me about the show or tell me about the show,
Right.
or someone tells me how much they love the show and it's somebody I don't even know, and that's when I'm like, okay,
And brings
we
you
gotta
back
keep
in.
this going. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
those always get me.
Gets you excited again. Yeah.
Those always get me. I get those from time to time, and you were the first one to do that, so I always appreciated that because I didn't know where we were gonna go with the show before you did that, and that's how we met. I'm sorry to everybody that heard that story a million times, but it's always good when you reach, because I always like doing that when growing up, and even now if I hear something I fuck with, I like to message them like, yo, I fuck with this. This is hard.
Especially now, yeah.
You're killing it. Like, I like this, because you never know. It really does boost people up, and people usually don't reach out. That's why it's special for people.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and I don't think people realize that we like when people reach out. People that are making stuff love when people reach out, and so it's like, even do it, even if it's just to say, hey, just to, like, it gets us excited again, gets us going. So,
and I was listening to I was watching this chick, Jade the Libra. She does like Halloween decoration vlogs and stuff. And she was like, if you ever run into me in the street, prepare for me to talk your head off. It's kind of the same thing with me. If you hit me up, or I will ask you, like, what do you like about the show? I will ask you all kind of shit. Like, I want to know, because I want to know what you fuck with, what you don't fuck with, all that stuff, right? You probably, I've sent you mad texts, like, what do you think about this? Like, what do you think? You think we should do this, or do you like this or not? I'll interview your ass. Don't worry. You hit me up, I'll answer.
That's the same way I'm here, and I'm starting to say that on the show too. Like, hey, you see us on the street and you like the show, come up to us and let us know, because especially here, like I said, it's a fairly small city, so it's like yesterday, or when was it? One of these days, we were out and about, and someone waved at me from afar. I was with my mom, actually, and I was like, I have no idea who that is. She's like, maybe they know you from the show. Nice. And I just laughed, and she's like, no, I'm serious. She's like, I've had people at work ask me about it and shit, and I was like, oh, nice. Well, maybe. So it's like, if they know us, come up, say what up,
say hola. Well, you're bilingual, so you can say either one. Say hi.
We're good. We're usually in a good mood, and honestly, if I'm not in a good mood, that'll get me in a good mood. I'll tell you.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Do you plan on starting an English podcast? Because right now your podcast is only in Spanish.
We keep saying we want to, and to do an audio only at least, but I don't know. Like, you get so busy with the one show that it's like.
You know what you got to do? Just do this. This is it, right? You do the Spanish one. You get it, like, have like a stenographer right there. The chick that's just like tick, 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 right? Have her right there. Write everything you set out. Just read it in English for the next hour and put that out. Act like you never said it before. Yeah, everybody remember their lines from the episode you just literally did and act it out again. And then just be like, yeah, this is the English episode.
We have a lot of friends that want English stuff, and they're like, this show looks pretty wild. I wish I could understand it. And I'm like, no, I should do at least one episode, like dub it. Thought about just going through and dubbing it. Just do everybody's voices. Too bad me and
Justin don't speak Spanish. We would talk. Justin would dub you. I would dub like the girls.
Yeah, see, we should do that anyways. I should just print out like a whole script of one episode, and then we should.
Oh, that'd be great.
Record the audio, and then I'll just deal with getting it synced up.
You mean us read it or somebody else?
All of us. Like, it's like you said, yeah. Like Justin
Mo
could be my voice,
girls.
And I'll do somebody else's voice. Like, instead of just doing my own, I'll do somebody else's.
Yeah, that'll be great. Yeah. You're doing somebody else's. That'll be sick. And maybe we can get you guys to dub us in Spanish. You can get us a whole new market.
Yeah.
You can just dub us.
Videos best in Spanish.
Dude, that's what Mr. Beast does, man. He just has like mad different channels, and it's all just dubbed version of his stuff.
You know what I want to dub? I would want to dub No More Chicken.
Oh my God. I'd let you do it for sure.
That's just, I gotta listen to it.
We still talk about that episode to this day.
Is it on YouTube?
It's not on YouTube.
You got to put that one up on YouTube.
As like a flashback
because
Friday?
It's great, yeah. And it'll make it easier because you can always just go to the
translation.
Yeah, well, they pull up the whole what do they call it? You go to the thing and it just pulls up every single word that you say. It's like pretty much just a script.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's an old school episode, man. That's an old school episode. Man. It's one of the best. Do you look back at when you first started with, like, how do you look back at when you first started? Do you look back at like, oh, this was great, it sucked, or how do you look back on the years when you first started your show?
Like, there's 2 episodes that I really am not happy with at all. That they fucking suck in my mind. But I've also had people tell me, oh, they're fine. So I'm like, whatever. and so I just leave them up. But for the most part, it's just like the difference of it. Like some of them are way different than others, but so far I think I like them all except those two, and I don't like saying which two because then those people get butthurt.
Oh yeah, everybody knows I hate pretty much every episode that comes out. So
yeah, see, I'm a bit more narcissistic like that though. Like I've always liked the stuff I do.
yeah.
I've always liked, like I did the Chicanos and Cars Getting Tacos before that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll still go back and watch those every once in a while.
Right.
Those are shorter
I forgot you
videos.
did
And
those. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna bring that back because COVID's been over.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to try it, but you know what? It's funny because I've heard this on other people's shows now too, where they say that cold is like if you want to do comedy, you want the room to be cold. I've heard that
really
like certain comedy schools and stuff like keep
like
everything colder. Because if it's hot, and I kind of proved it because we did a few of those in the summer when it's hot as hell, and they were not as funny.
People
like
just get
really
you just kind of get like if it's too hot, you're not even in
you're too sluggish
in the moment right
like,
there.
Yeah,
you're just like
you're in a bad mood.
You just want to get out of there.
But most of those were recorded like in the dead of winter, and so I think that's like if I do them again, I think I'll do them this winter. Like it's
you gotta
really
fly
cool.
down. You can get mad content out of us. Like everybody from the show could do an episode. We'll do a whole season.
Hell yeah.
Crow, me, Justin.
Because maybe that's what I'll do for English content. Like it's like I've told you, my friend Lily. Shout out to Lily who's been on our show. The whole idea of doing a podcast was me and her, but she's super busy all the time. She has her own business and she's a dental hygienist too. So it's like she hardly ever has time.
Right.
And so then when we do have time to do something, it doesn't feel like we should be doing some sort of work. You know what I mean?
You should be chilling.
Yeah.
Should be chill. So shout out the show. Tell everybody where to watch it, how to watch it, even though, again, it is in Spanish. But you know what? If you're cleaning, you're fucking around, put it on, give them a view, and give it a like. Make sure the watch time's good. Don't fucking turn it off. Let it roll.
Yeah.
Let it roll. Shout it out. Let us know where to go.
Just put it on while you're going to sleep. Maybe it'll subliminally teach you Spanish.
Right?
Too. But yeah, check us out. YouTube, the channel on YouTube is Roddy TV. There's a big logo, green television that says Roddy TV right in the middle. If that's what you're looking at, that's where all of my videos are and all the podcasts are there. But you can also watch and listen on Spotify or listen on Apple Podcasts for Altared, Altared. If you're looking at Gritty's hat there, that's our logo. That's the logo to look for, a little radio station antenna thing. And yeah, this was a real fun show. Check it out. And yeah, I'm trying to get more content on the YouTube channel, but let's just keep our eyes on it.
And from what I understand, what I heard from your offices, I don't know if this was actually approved by you, but I heard this. If you in fact get the Alta Red tattooed on, get the logo tattooed on you, you will get a free sticker. It's a big promotion going on right now. Get a tattoo. If it's on your face, you get a free mug. I mean, you can't pass that shit up. I'm going tomorrow.
Yeah, and we're actually thinking about, just to make people get more excited about that, we might include one of those hats too.
You might.
Might.
But it has to be on the face though.
Yeah, it has to be well done. It's not a hard design.
Right.
So you should be good.
As long as it looks like the logo, I would say that.
Yeah, like a little.
It doesn't have to
just
be
a blue
amazing.
triangle.
And if you're in prison, find a way to get us the picture. They got phones in there now. Just tweet us the picture or Instagram us the picture. We will send you the mug, and we may send you something else in the mug. We may have to get you slip something in there for you, like a little Oreo or something. We got all kind of snacks over here.
The crack egg.
Yeah, we'll send you a crack egg. We'll send you that too. I have to say this before we go. I don't know how you feel about this, okay? We were talking about things that, we used to do when we were younger and how things are different these days, okay? But I've been seeing this sentiment thrown around for a while, and it has pissed me off, and I need to say something about it right now. I have been seeing, usually, the younger generation say this. Since when did smoking cigarettes become cool again? Smoking cigarettes is not cool. It's never been cool. Smoking is not cool. Let me tell you something right fucking now. Smoking cigarettes is not healthy. But you look super cool. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Yeah.
You look wild cool smoking cigarettes. There's in the movies, all the cool people smoking cigarettes. Walt Disney, one of the coolest people to ever walk the face of the earth, that guy barely breathed oxygen. He died of lung cancer, but let me tell you,
he looked cool.
He looked so fucking cool. There might not be a cooler guy to walk the face of the earth, all right? So I don't know where these kids are getting this stuff, because vaping, it looks even, like 10 times worse.
It looks stupid as hell, yeah.
Somebody said it looks like you're sucking a robot's dick, and I thought that was like the greatest thing you could say about that. It totally looks like that.
It does, yeah, now that you mention it. The last time I sucked a robot's dick, that's what it looked like.
You can find that picture on the Alter Red Instagram.
But yeah, you know who my big cigarette influence was that I thought looked really cool?
Oh,
the fucking Pink Panther.
Oh, I forgot. I didn't know. Wow, you
at the beginning of every episode, he had the cigarette on a little cigarette holder, and he would tap the like ash shit.
Now, I don't smoke cigarettes because they make me feel like shit, but I do like my cigars. And I've always thought smoking cigarettes look cool.
It looks cool.
And it's like, oh, you guys are indoctrinated because that's what the cigarette companies wanted you to think. That's why they put it in the movies. No. Because if it didn't look cool, we'd be like, that's lame. Why are they even doing that? No. If a chick is smoking a cigarette, she automatically becomes hotter. Automatically becomes hotter. I had a teacher, okay? Her breath smelled like cigarettes and coffee. I thought she was so bad. Like, I thought she was so hot. That did not deter me. That only made her more attractive to me. All right? So I don't know where this sentiment's coming from. Knock it off. Do not be a dweeb. Because what you sound like is a freaking dweeb. Cigarettes? If my nephew was like, hey, I'm about to smoke cigarettes, I'd be like, listen, it's not good at all. You should not do it. But you're going to look so fucking cool, though. I will tell you that.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Like you don't give a fuck.
Yeah. You don't even give a fuck about your body. You don't give a fuck about your lungs. Like, you really don't.
Yeah.
You don't give a
fuck about other people. You don't give a fuck about anything, and that's cool. Not giving a fuck is cool.
And they taste great. I don't know what
they really do.
I think they taste great.
I don't smoke enough anymore. I bought a pack of cigarettes, I want to say like 6 weeks ago, and I still have like 5 or 6 of them left.
See, I didn't know if you were a smoker or not. I didn't know at all. Okay.
Yeah, it's on and off. Like, definitely, like and it's a lot of times it's like if I'm out and about in the bars and drinking and shit. Yeah.
Oh, that's when it goes. That's what my mom used to say. She's like, I don't smoke that much, but when I go drinking, boom, cigarette. Also, if you're a guy, your voice, wild cool. Your voice becomes so cool.
Yeah.
You got that radio voice. You just get a job at a radio station, just blow them down, talking to the mic, you're done. Perfect right there.
That's where I get the rasp.
That's right. Our PSA right now, smoking, mad cool.
Badass. Yeah.
That is Gritty Knows Best and Alter Red's statement on that. Very cool.
Very pro smoking. This country was built on tobacco, so
listen. They used to have smoking indoors. What the fuck? They stopped that?
Even when I was very little, I still remember going to the restaurants when I was like 4 or 5 years old and being like, smoking or non-smoking?
Dude, they have I grew up like that. Like, everywhere I went, all the people were barbecues. Everybody was smoking cigarette in everybody's hand. My favorite picture is of me and my mom on Halloween. I have it on my Instagram. And my mom looks like the coolest person. Hold on.
I've seen it. It's true. I mean, you just got to look.
Tell me my mom doesn't look so fucking cool with that cigarette in her hand. Look
she
at
got
that.
You walling out there. What are you dressed up as?
I'm as a scarecrow.
Scarecrow, which I thought was ironic too.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah,
because I think when you posted that, I was like, "Don't show that to fucking."
Yeah, you did say that.
No, don't show that to Mo.
Gonna scare him.
Out.
Yeah, but when I was growing up, man, everybody was blowing it down. What I do like is that they still have in some casinos, and I think a lot in Vegas, just they'll let you blow it down right in the casino. They don't care.
Yeah. There's not a lot of places here where we can smoke inside anymore, but the casino is one of them.
Pick up a pack, smoke it down, and enjoy yourselves. All right? Listen to Alter Red and just kill a pack right there. Knock it right out. Go on a binge. All right? Enough with the dweebishness. We're done. And we're done. You already plugged your stuff? Let's plug mine real quick. You already know if you're on Spotify and Apple, You can come find us on YouTube. You can watch us, see our beautiful faces, and vice versa. If you're on YouTube and you want to take us in your pocket, you don't want to pay for YouTube Premium, because trust me, I don't. I got Clay's. I'm stealing his. You can find us on Spotify and Apple and other podcast platforms that I'm not even aware of. I know we're places I don't even know about.
Yeah.
So
yeah, in the same way. I think we're like on Google Podcasts is what I just found out. I'm like, I didn't even know we were on there.
I think the only one we're not on is Amazon, and who cares, because their apps suck.
Yeah.
Amazon
Well,
Music's the
thing.
worst.
That's the only ones I focus on are Spotify and Apple, because I don't know a single person that listens
Yeah,
to anything
we're like on
else, so.
Deezer. I don't even know what that is, but shout out to
Yeah.
you if you're listening on Deezer or anything like that.
Yeah, let us know if you're listening on those.
Yeah, you know what? I think a lot of them may be from maybe like foreign countries. That they may be. There may be some like bigger platforms there that they're into. So write us and let us know what you're listening to us on. Peace and love. See you next time.